Happy Tuesday. It's New Year's Eve. Sales were much better last night than over the weekend. Today we've got 11 sales for $464. First, we got to go to the back, maybe. We sold one of the NFL jackets. I still have this up from during the sale. And that one is not it. So we got to go to the back. So back here, we sold an NFL jacket. Let's see. It's going to be in here. There's a Vikings camouflage size extra large. And that is going to be, that's a medium. Sold this, took a lower offer, $45, because I'm just trying to liquidate all of them. So when I sell them, I'm probably going to get like, I don't know, 15 or 20 bucks each to a reseller. So $45 gets me close, or it makes me over that, so let it go. C53. Remember when I did the pins video and I was at the outlet and there were a bunch of movie theater cups right here? I grabbed them because they probably cost me like 10 cents for all of them. And I thought maybe they're worth something. Well, they weren't, but they did sell pretty quick for $12.99. So I'm going to make, I guess I'll probably get like $4 after shipping and fees on them. So I guess for 10, 15 cents, that's a pretty good margin. I probably wouldn't buy them again. Sold another one of these for $49.99. Tire pressure monitor sensor things. These are the ones that we almost sold for $1 on Dollar Day. So I got a brand new furnace in my house and a nice smart thermostat. I can control on my phone. That way if I'm like out of town, I'm in Vegas or something, and Cristiano turns the heat up, I can just turn it back down from my phone. However, my nice fancy new furnace has a humidifier on it from 1958, I think. 65-ish years old. A little over 65 years old now. And that has a very old thermostat, or maybe it's a humidistat. I don't know. But anyways, I took it off the wall to paint when I moved into my house. And then I lost part of it. I can't remember if it was the plastic like rectangle or if it was the knob itself, but part of it just disappeared. It walked off, it left, it moved out. So can't really replace these. It's super old. So I went on eBay and I found one and I paid $25 for it, just for that one little piece. So that made me realize old thermostats can be worth it. People won't be replacing their thermostat with it, but they might need to replace the knob or something. Anyways, when I was at an auction, I don't remember if it was in a box lot or if it was, somebody bought a bunch of stuff and left that part behind because they thought it was junk. But in Z42, we sold an old thermostat. There's a pile of them. I took a low offer, $15 on it, because these ones are in pretty rough shape. You can see some of the graphics are rubbed off. It's very possible that they're just going to want the knob on this anyway, because the knob could break, the part that attaches it to the thing, and the rest they're just going to throw away. But I already sold one for like $25 a couple of weeks ago. $15 for that one, and I got several more. C52. Where are we over here? C52. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff in here. Let's move that out of the way. This is probably going to be near the bottom of the box, because it's something that's been, this is a more recent box and there's a thing that's been listed for a little while. There it is right here. This is a Nikon camera. I sold it for $50. It is for parts or repair. I know the battery cover doesn't close. I don't know if there are any other issues with it. I might not have even tested it because I sold it for parts. $50. It's a pretty nice camera. I'm assuming it's probably worth quite a bit more. When I listed it, I just took a shot in the dark on price, and it was listed whenever, I think it was not during the last sale, but the one before that, when I had a whole bunch of cameras I was listing. Next is B33 right here. These Align probiotics, they came on one of the recent Walgreens pallets. I sold 3 of them to one buyer for $59.99. I've got one left. Next, we've got a pair of shoes here, these Skechers. These are kind of neat. Little shiny with the rose gold. These sold to a viewer, Patricia, and she left a note. It's a little bit of a vulgar note at the end, but I'll read it for you. Patricia says, Rabbit, thank you for the Christmas card. She got one of the Christmas cards that I sent out. I don't know how we stumbled about your channel during COVID, but it's brought so much happiness. She says all these super kind words and then finishes it with a vulgar, horrible thing to say to someone. She says, go Lions. What's wrong with you? But in any event, I appreciate the purchase and the support. Next, Z62. This was listed yesterday. $34.99 for this calculator. M21 up here. I bought this at Goodwill this weekend. Oh, almost dropped it. I bought it for $4.99 at Goodwill. It sold for $34.99 probably an hour or two after I listed it. And I priced it high. I mean, it's more like a $30 game, maybe a $25 game. And I got $34.99 for it. I don't always do this, but a lot of things, I generally price things high with the anticipation that someone's going to make me an offer. But given that I have free returns and I'm a top-rated seller and, you know, all this other stuff, free shipping, everything, I can usually get a little bit more than the average seller. How about another thing that I bought at Goodwill this weekend? Right here, Dukes of Hazzard. It's got a little roughed up section of the box here. And I took very good photos showing this. I paid $5 for that. It sold for $39.99. So after shipping and fees, these two items are going to be between $50 and $55. And my cost was $10. And they sold very quickly. I always look up sealed models. Usually they're not worth anything, but every so often you find a good one like this. Now, remember yesterday how I said I can't wait to do this video and show you the items? There's one more item. The things that I just bought this past weekend and listed yesterday selling, that was exciting. But there's one more thing. So every so often I will go and do a video and say, you know, this thing, I can't believe it hasn't sold. And one of you awesome people, you go and buy it. It doesn't happen often, maybe 1 out of every 100 times I say that, but that happens from time to time. I sold an item that yesterday I said, I'm really surprised this thing hasn't sold. And it was not one of you guys who bought it, at least not because of the video. And they didn't leave a note or anything indicating they were a viewer, but it wasn't from the video. Let's take a walk over here. Remember that Christmas crafting kit? I'll open it up for you. Remember this thing? It sold for $41.99. This sold maybe an hour or two after I pulled it out and said, you know what? I'm really surprised this hasn't sold. It's been listed for 3 Christmases. I listed it in 2022. I'm just going to wait until November, pull it, and put it in the auction. It sold within an hour or two after me saying that. Before the video, I didn't even finish filming the video when this happened. So, you know, it was not online or anything. Tim and I always had this thing that we did where it would happen weirdly frequently, where if Tim says to me or I say to him, hey, this thing, I'm really surprised it hasn't sold. What is this? This is a water timer switch. I'm not surprised at all that hasn't sold. It's winter. But we'll say something like that. And weirdly, or if we have sold a bunch in the past, but then it just stopped for like 6 months, and we'll say, we haven't sold any of these in a while. Suddenly like 4 or 5 of them will sell. I don't know why. So we would joke with each other and grab things that we want to sell and, loudly and obviously, oh, I'm surprised this hasn't sold, to see if it works. It never works when we're intentionally trying to do it. But I think that was the case right here. Tim may no longer be with us. Rest in peace, Tim. But his spirit lives on with this. Tim didn't die. He moved. But the joke still works. So I'm going to ship all these out, and then I'm going to do something a little different. I want to list these 3. Remember these from yesterday's video. But instead of going through that, I want to do some inventory in here. So I'm going to go through and spend an hour on these little pockets where stuff isn't in boxes and just do an inventory and see what's actually listed. I bet I'll find a few things that aren't listed in here. So then I'll have a little pile of stuff to list. I'm also there are going to be certain things that they might be listed, but I want to change how they're listed, update the photos, maybe change the number, like those Lancets, instead of listing them as a 6, list them as a 2-pack. and maybe some things that I just decided to pull and put in the auction. So I'm gonna work on that until I have a nice little pile of stuff here. And if I don't find enough, I'll grab some out of here and then I'll do some more listing. So going through the listings, this has been listed for about 2.5 years, unsold. But the battery has sold. This is currently on sale because it's been listed so long. We're at like 38 bucks. The battery is sold for $33 used. This one it's new, but it's, you know, no packaging or anything, so undecided how I'm gonna sell it. Probably new other. So I'm just gonna throw this away and sell that. I also found a Bosch dishwasher cord that was not listed, and I pulled these fridge filters. They've been listed forever, no solds. We're at like 20 bucks with the current sale running, which means I'd get like 10 after shipping and fees. I bet I can get 10 bucks in the auction for that. And then these items are still here. I doubt this will sell. The toilet brush from Pottery Barn. A bunch of hinges. Not really the type of thing that sells well on eBay, but what else am I gonna do with it? This, I don't know what to do with. There are a bunch listed. We're like the second lowest price, and the lowest is only a couple of pennies lower than us. And no solds, but a bunch listed. I'll leave it for now. So I did that one. We'll do this one next. I might take new pictures of this. This is like a, I don't even remember what it goes to, but it's for an elevator. I had it listed really high. I thought it was gonna sell pretty fast. This has to be one of the oldest things we have listed. It was listed April of 2021, before we even started putting dates in here. I think I'm gonna pull it. It doesn't make sense to pull things if I'm not gonna get anything for this. I'm probably just gonna put it in the sale and maybe it'll sell on bag day. But there are no solds. There are like 20 of them listed. Yeah, I should put I don't know why it was never put in there, but the make and model that goes to. All the other ones listed have that and no solds. So I think I'm just gonna delete it to free up space. Well, that's why this one didn't sell. These pictures are terrible. It's focused on that. Everything else is blurry. These are fine. But look at this. It's like on his lap. He was definitely feeling lazy when he took these pictures. One other person listed at like $250. One sold new for $500. So there's a market for it. I'm gonna relist it. I deleted the listing. I'm gonna take better pictures and relist it. So I pulled all of this to go in the auction, and there was only the one item that wasn't listed. These two I pulled to relist differently. Created a little bit of space up here, a little space in here, and I grabbed a couple things off the top here. Basically, I did the K section, and I did the top shelf here. That's really it. I need to start working on other projects now. This thing I think will do well in the auction as an impact. We had it listed for like 200 bucks, no solds at all, not ours or anybody else's. And then this light has been listed for about 2 years, so decided to pull that. These we had listed individually a couple years ago. None of them sold, so I think like about a year ago, maybe less, I pulled it, listed them all as a lot. No sales, so I'm just gonna let them go in the auction. Speaking of the auction, I got a little progress done yesterday. We're up to somewhere between 75 and 80 lots here. Got a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of the tools and stuff that came from that tool buyout. More stuff over here. This looks like a fancy knife. Just random stuff from Amazon and other pallets. Some of it's stuff that I feel like would do better in the auction. Some of it's stuff like this would have been $10 a day, but we found it later, so just went on an auction pallet. Some of it's stuff that would either get damaged or just make a mess if we put it in the auction, or in the sale, I mean. So get some more through here. My hope is to have this up by Wednesday. Whether or not that's gonna happen, I'm not sure, because I won't launch an auction unless I have at least 200 lots. I mean, today and tomorrow are gonna be pretty busy days. So I decided I want to start listing some of this NFL apparel that's been sitting unlisted, specifically the ones that I think are going to do the best. The Lions, Vikings, both really good teams right now, so I want to get these listed. But I'm only going to list the Vikings because I just sold all of the Lions stuff. I got like 200 bucks. I think it was 200 bucks for all of it. There's 60 of them, so a little over $3 a piece. I'm going to dump all those, pack these up for shipping, and then I'll list these. This shouldn't be too much because there are only 3 styles, I think, and then there are different sizes within that, but that's as simple as just sell similar and change a couple of details. All ready to ship. Could I have gotten more? Absolutely. I mean, these have $21 price tags on them. But this way I don't need to list them on eBay, and I gave him a good deal because he bought out all my Lions stuff in the past. Last time I got a load of this NFL stuff in. I don't need to list it. I don't need to store it. We're coming towards the end of the season, so I don't know how much of it will sell on eBay. Most of it will probably sit until next year. Probably, I don't know. But he's got a store where he'll be able to move this pretty fast and probably get more than I would on eBay anyway. Maybe I should have charged him more. I think I charged him more last time. I think I charged him $5 a piece last time. Oh well, it gets him out of here. And also, over half of them are this pink set, and I really don't know how well these would do. They might do just fine. They might not sell. I have no idea. So it takes that gamble out of the equation for me. So we got this set here in 1, 2, 3, 4 different sizes. We got this set in 2 sizes, this set in 1, this set in 1, and this set in 2. These and these are very similar, but slightly different. This one has the booties and the hat. This is an extra shirt. So realistically, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 listing or 5 SKUs. But some of these I won't take a picture of the size tag, so I can use the same pictures and just need to update the listing specifics, the title and all that. So I just looked at the auction that's ending tonight. I completely forgot this is the one with all the video games. Over here got a bunch of NES and Super Nintendo games. One of these is at like $130 on the auction right now. The person who brought these into us to sell for them, they said they found all this in a dumpster, as well as an NES and a Super Nintendo. We haven't tested any of them. They haven't tested any of them. They stopped in today. They wanted to look at a piece of jewelry that they're going to bid on that wasn't theirs. That's a few different consigners. And she told me, she said, I didn't understand why you listed all those games separately. I thought they would just be in one lot and they'd go for like $30. And then she said, after I saw the bidding, now I understand why. They had no idea that video games were worth that much. They thought they were wasting their time cleaning them up. But they were in a dumpster. They would not tell me where the dumpster was, which tells me that's probably a honey hole for them. And now I really want to know where the dumpster was. But anyways, just a bunch of video games thrown away. Probably $600-700 worth of games once it's all sold. They're very happy about that. Anyways, that's where I left my note. Yesterday I watched a video, another reseller. I'm not going to say who it was, but it just frustrates me the way people, especially resellers, just throw stuff in the trash. They had a jacket they had bought at a thrift store, and it was a used jacket worth about $110 according to them. I don't think they said the brand, but they said it was worth about $110 on eBay. After they bought it, they went to list it and saw there was a little burn hole, like a cigarette burn in it. So they threw it in the trash. Now I get it. Maybe you don't want to list it on eBay. It's definitely not worth $110 anymore with a burn hole in it. If it's $110 though, someone might be willing to pay $50 for it, despite the burn hole, because they're getting a good deal. I guess it depends where it is and everything, but even if it's not worth it there, somebody would want a $110 jacket despite that. Give it to Goodwill, let someone else buy it who will wear it. Or, donate it to a shelter or something. Maybe I don't know the jacket. Maybe it's $110 because it's really good quality and warm. Maybe it's just $110 because it's a fashionable brand. In any event, it can still be worn. It still works. So you can still do something with it rather than throw it in the trash. And that just annoys me, how many people just throw everything in the trash. Storage unit buyers, they'll clean out a storage unit. Anything that's not worth selling goes in the dumpster. Now, there are some usable things that I'll throw in the dumpster because the box it's in is disgusting. But generally, I try to give as much to the thrift stores as I can, if nothing else, just to keep stuff out of the landfill. Even if it doesn't go to helping people, it's just a for-profit thrift store, it keeps it out of the landfill. I hate throwing a ton of stuff in the trash. It just seems senseless. Anyways, that is all I've got for you guys. I need to get this video edited. It's about 2:30, so in order to get it up today, same day. I made a Patreon. A lot of people have been saying how much they loved when I did daily videos like this. And it's a lot of work to do daily videos. So what I'm doing is I made a Patreon where I'm going to try to do daily videos. I'm guaranteeing at least 3 a week, unless I happen to be, on the road or something, out of town. At least 3 a week. They're going to be just like these, pulling eBay orders. Whether or not they have all the other stuff is yet to be determined. It depends how much time I have in that day and if I'm doing anything interesting. They will not be on YouTube. I will still be doing the normal videos that I do on YouTube, but the daily, here's what's sold on eBay, pulling them from the shelves, that's not going to be on YouTube. I'm sure at some point if I'm doing like a warehouse sale video, I might show a couple of things. I don't know how I'm doing this, but it's going to be a lot of work to maintain this every single weekday. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how many people sign up for Patreon. If it's worth it for me to keep doing it, and if I'm physically able to keep doing it, I'll keep doing it. Otherwise, I might just do it for a couple of weeks. Who knows? But anyways, I will try my best. If you're interested in that, there's a link down below. Otherwise, I mean, I'm still going to be doing, well, tomorrow is actually the last day, New Year's Day, because staff all comes back after that. Of course, I'm going to be shipping again. Tomorrow will be the last of the daily videos on the channel here. Again, then we'll just go to the normal schedule of trying to get at least one a week out, maybe 2 a week. So anyways, if you enjoyed this, definitely go watch. You behave. Definitely go watch another video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, lemonade and merch down below. And Happy New Year. I'll see you next year. Everybody in my life will be hearing, I haven't seen you since last year tomorrow. I can't wait.